Hey, Chris from Codify Academy here. In this video, I want to cover the most common mistakes I make in HTML and how you can avoid doing them. Common error number 1, missing the doctype in your HTML. Without this, the browser is just going to display plain text. Luckily, we added this to our template, so we don't need to really worry about this one. Common error number 2, missing the HTML head or body tags in your document. And again, we have this in our template, so we don't need to worry about this. Common error number 3, missing the character encoding. Again, we have this in our template, so that's not an issue for us. While I was learning to code, I didn't really know about this thing called a template, so I made these 3 mistakes a bunch. Common error number 4, having an extra end tag when there shouldn't be one, or forgetting the end tag of an element. Just remember that normally an element has a start and an end tag. Common error number 5, forgetting the slash in a closing element. This error can be avoided if you use the shortcut in your text editor to make elements for you. Again, when I was learning to code, this wasn't a thing, so take advantage of it. Common error number 6, not adding an attribute to a start tag. This one I actually figured out pretty quickly, but remember, attributes will always be added to a start tag, never on an end tag. And common error number 7, incorrectly adding additional attributes to elements. So sometimes we need to add more than one attribute to an element. We just need to add some space in the start tag, and then we can add our attribute, set it equal to the value that we want. There's no limit on these. As I learned more about the errors that I made, I start to realize that the text editor actually has a color pattern that will help you avoid mistakes as well. So if you look at mine, my tags are red, the syntax and content are all white, the attributes are all orange, and their values that are in quotes are all green. So if something doesn't look like this, then you know something's not correct around that area. So I encourage you to try to recognize this color pattern in your text editor, and that gives you a good starting point to fix your error. Normally it's just going to be syntax and spelling with HTML. And then if that fails, we always have our HTML validator that will show us if we have any errors. I usually use the direct input method, so we can just use Controller Command A to highlight all our code, Controller Command C to copy, and in the browser, Controller Command V to paste. Go ahead and click on check code. And my code actually passes because I don't have any syntax or spelling errors. Over time, you'll develop your own way of spotting your errors. And once you figure out the most common errors that you make and you fix them, you can actually code faster.